All right, we have our piece here, and now we're going to do the accessories for it. And I've already drilled a hole in his hand. It's about 1/4 inch. Or is it 1/4 inch? Something like that. I'll have to look, maybe 5/16 or something like that. Anyway, you want to drill it. Usually, I know about what size I want, but the best thing to do is go ahead and do your little gun. I just draw out a little piece of it, and then once you're through with it, then measure it and then drill your hole. In other words, I know about what size I want anyway. So we're gonna do that now to fit into his. Now the gun, the rifle doesn't have to be extremely detailed, but you want a little bit of a detail in it. In other words, it's just kind of a. Now this is done from 1/4 inch wood. Okay, this is done from 1/4 inch wood, and basically just take it and start rounding it on both sides. That's what you want to do, and just go from side to side, shaping this little rifle that's going to fit in his hand. Now I'll show you about what we want to get down to. In other words, this is the barrel of it, and I'll show you how we make the trigger and all that other stuff. In other words, like I said, it doesn't have to be extremely detailed, but you want to be careful when you get down to these areas that are small here. You want to be very, very careful and drag your knife like this. You want to drag your knife especially in this case. And watch your grain. And we come back here and we just sort of flatten this out. This is our stock, our gun stock, and we're gonna do this a little bit in here. This is our gun stock, at which case from each side we begin to take off the like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? It doesn't. It's just representing a rifle. Now, we can make it more detailed if you want to. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you want to, but it's not necessary. I mean, it's as long as you have a shape there that's relatively represents a rifle, then that is good enough. Now, the stock of a rifle sort of goes at a especially at the end right here. Sort of like this. There we go. And this area right here is kind of where the trigger, not the trigger, the I'm sorry. Yeah, I would say the cock, the trigger cock, and all that, where it comes there, and that just has to be shaped basically. And I'll show you what you're gonna do. Okay. Now the grain changes when it gets to this end, so you want to be careful what you're doing. And let's come back here with this a little bit. And then let's come up underneath here where that kind of goes back like that. And this goes forward. Now this is a little bit high. And we want to now this here. Now as you do the rifle, as you do the piece, in other words, so you want to be, like I said, you want to be careful what you're doing, and you want to come at sort of an angle right here. And let's thin that up in there a little bit. Now we're going to take the hole, and now of course it's way too big, and it may be too long. I may have to cut it off a little bit too. But what we do is you go this way. I'm sorry. Let me. And what you have to do is you have to bring the rifle down. This is way too high anyway. This is way too high. So you have to keep bringing it down. Okay, so that it will fit in the hand, which takes a little doing. And you see how I just scraped the blade of the knife? Now, it should almost, it almost goes in there. In fact, it does. See this? But a lot's going to have to come down. All right? See how that's going? Because you want it to fit. Okay. See, now all this has to come down in order to fit in the hand. You don't want to force it, because if you're trying to force it, it's going to break. So it's best to just go ahead and work on this in these areas. Alright, and you take it, put it in here. See how much further it goes now? There you go. See how much further it goes? Alright. So that means that from this point on, you can take your pencil. From this point on, it's going to have to be taken down, okay? Which means sit there and you take it down these areas. Gotta watch the grain on these things. They are really, they can really okay, now let's try it again. Fits in there. There it goes about this far. Okay, so basically up in here we need to take off. Still gotta bring some more down over in here, because I want it almost to come up to this part of the. Got to be careful when you do these things, because it really will, the grain changes a lot and you want to be careful. Okay, it's almost there. There you go, see? It's almost there, and then we'll work on this. But you got to get this down far enough. And then you work from there. I think this is going to pretty much do it. There it is. See it? See what I'm saying? Okay. Then I'm going to drill a little hole in here to look like a rifle. Now, let's go ahead and take that out of there. I mean, it fits tight, but it fits. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and take that like that. Okay. Okay, the stuff is changing. Okay, it looks pretty good in the back here. See how I just scrape it? Because the grain changes in there, so you don't want to take a whole lot off because the grain change. And let's bring this down. Kind of do this, in other words, and I'll sand it, in other words, a little bit. Okay, just sort of like that. So when you, real simple, we're not going to make it dramatic. There we go. See, just like that. Just like that. Now, let's do now, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that rifle. In other words, we're going to make some things into it. I want to come just a little bit lower with this. Okay, and then come a little bit on each side like that, in other words. There we go, just like that. Okay, and that's going to be his rifle. I can even cut off just a little bit from the, I made it a little bit long. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the jug. Now what I'd simply have here is a square. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to come just I want to come down just a little bit off that square, and I want to make a cut. Okay, now you want to be real careful because, and a cut underneath there. Okay, and then a cut and go a little bit deeper, in other words. And we want to come and we want to a little bit more. Okay, and then we want to come down on this just like here. Leave that in there. Just like that. And we want to come down some more. And up here, we want to come, be careful. There you go. Come down some more. And then from each side, we want to take and we want to all right. I think you're getting the gist of what's happening here. Now, we'll come over here, cut down some more here. Come over here, slow but surely cut down some more. Okay. Then we want to continue on each side to bring this down. Okay? Now, what we're talking about here let's just keep doing this, because we've got to bring this down, and the same thing here. Let's cut this down. I'm just being real careful in this area. I don't want to break this piece off, okay? I don't want to break that off. All right, now let's continue. Round this off. Continue to go around and work this down, okay? Now, like I said, we need to continue to just go around until we get to a certain point, and then we're going to do something. And we can continue this here.